After the ball is over, after this game is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 329. It is Saturday, October 27, 2018 as we're recording. It's gray and rainy outside, but that's okay. We'll have fun in the Woman Cave. We want to welcome all new and returning viewers. We're glad to have you with us. My name is Marlisha, also known as Lady Fernico.
And I'm Talia, also known as Franciscan Gypsy.
If you are new to the podcast, we're glad that you found us, and we hope that you will return and join us again for the Food in the Woman Cave. If you are returning, we're glad that you are back. And if you are in the shadows, as we've said before, please feel free to come out of the shadows, join the Ravelry group so you can be eligible for the giveaways and the prizes and all the camaraderies out there as well. We're Pen, Hook, and Needles on Ravelry. And if you're watching on YouTube, as many of you do, please do feel free to join the group officially there. There's a little subscribe button on your right. And then, maybe hit the little bell so you can get notifications that we are up and running for you guys to watch. We have a new member who joined officially. Her name is, I think it's Carolina. It's spelled unusually. I've never seen it spelled that way. But anyway, Carolina, we're glad to have you with us. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome. I guess we should say what's in our mug.
How many projects do you have?
6, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So do I, but you also have dying, so I think that you should go first.
How do I always get to go first? I don't think so. You oboe head. Always contriving because you want to have your tea last.
I don't have any FOs or anything else interesting besides my
Alright.
6 projects. You do have stuff interesting besides your 6 projects.
Pain in my neck. In my...
Because you have cool stash enhancements and everything.
You keep saying that. In my Avengers mug. Yeah.
Okay.
In my Avengers mug is... excuse me. This is new to me. This is Plum Deluxe tea. Deluxe pumpkin spice tea. It's a pumpkin party. Pairs well with pies and cookies, sweaters, and blankets. All organic honeybush tea, black tea, cinnamon, cardamom, ginger, cloves, calendula, safflower, natural pumpkin flavor, love, gratitude, low caffeine.
I haven't tried that one. Gosh.
I don't know.
I would try my tea.
You've been annoying all morning.
No, I haven't.
Yes, you have.
No, I really haven't.
It's really good.
Oh, that is good. It's good.
I thought it was going to be like my spice tea, but it's actually different. It's very good.
And then I have, and you'll be happy that I actually did make you save this one for last, coconut macaroon dessert tea.
I haven't tried it yet. I have mine.
Wait, you haven't?
I have it, but I haven't tried it yet.
Oh, Mom, you'll love this one. Because Mom loves every dessert tea. That's why I thought that she had tried this one. And
I have it. I just haven't tried it yet.
I partially chose it because I knew you had liked it. Indulge in fresh chick flavor. Or chic?
Chick flavor? Like chip, peep, 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 chick
well,
flavors?
It's C-H-I-C.
You have baby chickens in your cup? What is wrong with you?
Yes.
I don't want to taste baby chickens. That's mean. Killing baby
Maybe
chickens.
I have little girls in my cup. Chicks?
Okay, that's just weird.
I don't know.
That's even more weird.
Anyway, indulge in fresh, chic flavor. Just relax. all organic, black tea, honeybush tea, Rubio's tea, coconut pieces, natural almond essence, love, gratitude, low caffeine. And I have this kind of like ness.
It's the weather. Because
Yeah.
I'm completely, I've got paint all over today, so it's just the weather. And Vonnie, you asked if my husband's truck was behaving. It's still in the shop.
It's misbehaving.
I'm not sure it's the truck's fault. They just haven't given it back yet.
Here you go. You're gonna really like this.
Okay. I love macaroons, and this sounds like that.
One of my coworkers, I let her try one of the Plum Deluxe teas, and she ended up going on the site and
That
looking
is
up.
good.
I thought you'd like that.
Boy, the coconut's really strong.
Do
in
you
that.
want another sip?
No, it's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll get some. I have some, so I don't want to take yours from you. That's really good.
Yeah, one of my coworkers was looking through the Plum Deluxe site, so hopefully she'll be picking some up.
When we went to the car dealership, Andy, there's our salesperson there, really sweet. He loves tea. So guess what I did? I gave him the Plum Deluxe website.
I wonder if there's a way, you know how people sell, like, become sellers of, like, beauty products online and stuff. I wonder if we could become, like,
We already do a lot of that. I mean,
that for Plum Deluxe.
I mean, we do a lot for Plum Deluxe. We love Plum Deluxe. It's well worth. We don't get paid.
No, we don't get
and we
paid.
don't get any free samples or anything. We
No,
do
no,
it because
no.
we really do love.
Because
the
they
tea.
really are awesome.
They're fantastic.
And once I drink through my ginormous Plum Deluxe tea stash, because I'm drinking a lot more tea now, I have a box of their tea at my work. Once I drink through all my stash, or most of my stash, I'm going to resubscribe to their tea of the month.
And I'm not doing their tea of the month, but I allow myself. Right now, I have a fairly good sized stash. When I get through it this winter, I will continue to replace.
Oh, your good size stash is so cute.
I'm not having a big stash.
I have a huge Plum Deluxe tea.
I don't need a big stash.
Your stash is so cute.
It's a baby stash.
It's so cute.
It's a baby stash. I have a lot of dessert teas. I
Yes.
have doubles of the chocolate and stuff like that. And as I find out what I can like and what I can drink, because sometimes
I feel like he does more of the dessert teas during this period of time. Of the year.
Yeah. Well, I'm careful with the ones that have a lot of flower petals in them and stuff like that because I have hay fever. And
Have you had the Rose City chai yet?
No, it's in my thing.
Oh my gosh, it's so delicious. I almost went with the Rose City chai, but I saw this one first. Because I went to my box looking for Rose City chai, but then I saw this one. I was like, I think that works.
Okay. On to what we are here for. We have a winner.
We're not a tea podcast?
No, we are a knitting and crocheting podcast and no knitting. I pulled for the winner last night in the wee hours. Actually, before I went to bed, not really the wee hours, but with the idea that if somebody else came late, I would re-pull. Nobody else came after I pulled, so it stood. The winner was number 16, and that was I Know Who You Are. I do not have a name for this person, so
we don't know who she is.
I don't know who you are. So I know who you are. Please contact me with your name, full name, and your RAV name, and the fact that you won this Anne Brody Notions pouch. Okay? Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I cannot send it to you. We cannot send it to you if we don't have your full name and your address. Her anonymity is going to go bye-bye. We won't say it on the podcast because she did not want to, but I know who you are. Okay, please. Full name, RAV name.
You know who you are. I know who you are.
I know who you are. Full name, RAV name, what you want, and your address. Okay? And we'll get this out to you. Send it to me because Talia's not great about looking at her
Yeah,
stuff.
I've never been very great, and I tend to pull a little bit of long hours at my job, so
So we had a lot of participation in this. I was really excited to see that. So we're glad for all the participation. We're thankful for that, and congratulations to the winner. Now, in other groups, we're going to go right on into the Cal-Cals, and I will say this one more time because people are new, and it is relatively new. I am not going to go into the rules and things like that for other groups. Assume that if we're mentioning them, we like the groups and think that you might also like them. Some are podcasts, some are not. But they're all a lot of fun to be involved with. And even for our own podcast, we will not be going through the rules but maybe once unless something has changed, okay? Or something is different. Now, in the Bee's Knees group, that's Vonnie, Studio Von Design, is 18 toys in 2018, Cal, and the Ready Set Christmas 2018, okay? And you can find the rules in her group for that. She's not a podcaster, but she's a lot of fun, and they do a lot of fun things in the group. The Harry Potter Cal is Victorian Studio Podcast. That's Maureen, and it's just like it says. It's Harry Potter related. It's a year long. This is her second annual, and she's very accessible. The rules are in her group, and she's really a lot of fun to watch when she podcasts. She's very informative, and she's very talented. In the Crocheting Whovian podcast, that's Laura Concert. That's, you know, you hear about Laura ad nauseum over here, so you know who she is. We all love her. She does the Family Movie Night Cal, the Year of Socks Cal, and I think she has something called Stripey Socks Cal, but she's doing with Army Wife Knit Life, I think is what Jessica's name is. The rules are in her group. They're pretty much self-explanatory. Her podcast is a lot of fun. The other podcast, well, she has the rules in her group, but the other podcast, I've watched her once or twice, Jessica's podcast, and it's very fun to watch. She's in Germany, so it's kind of fun to see what she's up to. The Shorty Socks Cal is Undead Yarn. That's podcast. That's Nitty Girl, Heidi. And exactly what it says, it's socks. I think she's expanded from Shorty Socks to all socks, and that's a year long. The Tracking Stash is Deb's Destiny and Blue Yarn Always. That's Debbie and Sheila from the Never Cast Off podcast. And they are a lot of fun as well. I don't know when they're podcasting again, but when they get together, they're hysterical. Debbie's very fun to watch when she does it alone. I'm not sure if Sheila does it alone or not. But I'm a little behind with some of my podcasts, but they're a lot of fun. And they both have been very generous with our podcast. So if you're looking for something else to watch or something else to be involved with, you might want to check them out. I forgot Brittany. I forgot to put her in here. She is the Comforting Crafts podcast. She's very, not podcast, Comforting Crafts group.
Brittany.
She's very charity oriented. And right now she's got the, is it hats?
She has 18 hats in 2018.
18 hats in 2018. She's doing dishcloths, and she's doing something else. I believe she might be doing socks. Most of her stuff is for charity. Mm-hmm. She's a lot of fun over there, and we love her. She's really fantastic. So you might want to get involved with that. Okay, now. Sorry about that. I need something to drink. The PHN Tea and Tails Year-Long Cal 2018 is nearing its close. We've got about 2.5 months. Is that right? About 2.5 months? 2.25 months?
Something like that.
To go. It started the first of the year, 2018, and goes to the end of the year. We are in the third quarter, and it is anything related to tea and or tails. It can do both, or it can do just one. Projects must be knit, loomed, or hand knit, loom knit, or crocheted. Previous whips are allowed, but you must work on them during the along, and you can't just plop a finished object that you finished in 2016 in there. It has to be something that you've worked on during the year sometime. Chatter pictures in the same thread. They must be tied in some way, shape, or form, as I said, to tea and or tails. 1 whip per project per week. The FO whenever it's completed. Our featured designs, Franciscan Gypsy Designs, Joanna Johnson's patterns, those are knit. Franciscan Gypsy Designs are mostly crocheted. She does have one knit. Mom Cook, which is Renee, she's loom knit. And Crocheting Whovian, who is Laura Concert, and she's crocheted and knit. And then Avani, we did bring her bee into the toil-on, but she has 3 or 4 patterns, and if you can make any of these patterns, these featured patterns tie in with tea and tails, then they can be for 2 chances at a prize for the FO. My yarn, if you have an FO in it, is also 2 chances at a prize, and if you do my yarn with any of those featured patterns, you know, related to tea and or tails, then it's 3 chances at a prize for the FO. So we want to give you as many chances for a prize as possible with a project. The 4th quarter prizes is a Mom Cook loom knit pattern, is 1 person, and then like Plum Deluxe little surprise package.
Yes.
That we will be sending directly from them. It will come in a distinctive little Plum Deluxe package, purple package.
I wonder if Plum Deluxe is doing their advent calendar this year.
They are.
Did I miss it already?
I don't know. I have to go check. I thought I saw it on Instagram because I was thinking about that. But that's kind of pricey, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of pricey depending on how you do it.
Yeah.
I mean, as well, it's not, when I say it's pricey, I don't mean that it's not worth it.
No, it's worth it.
It's definitely worth it. It's just you have to figure out if you can budget it.
Yes.
Like having good yarn, it's worth it.
Well, like when you do advent calendars for the yarn.
Yes, yes. You have to figure out, do you have the money for it? Because it's well worth it.
Mm-hmm. And usually some of his Christmas teas are some of his best ones.
Mm-hmm.
I usually love the winter fall teas.
Boy,
and I
that's so
have
good.
not ever gotten into one of his advent calendars.
I've always wanted to, but are they just like one out the little packages? Or
I don't know. I've never gotten in.
I don't know. I can't. She doesn't have to answer to somebody. I do. So, anyway, maybe if you can find out what the ounces are, I can go half with you, and then I can have some of it.
Right.
But anyway, or whatever. Okay. The end of year, going back to the Tiet or Tails, the end of year prize is a great big package of yarn and a bag and stitch markers and all kinds of neat stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, Brittany's cards, you'll just have to wait and see who wins that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, we already did the Notions bag winner. Okay. Now, the toy along is going strong. I like seeing all the toys in there. Some of them are, all of them are adorable. I've noticed a couple of Hufflepuffs in there, which is fun. That's a double for the FO, don't forget. I'd like to see someone do a B, an Eric the B for Vonnie.
Eric the Alpha B.
Yeah, the Alpha B. Only is Eric the, what she call him? I forget what she called it. Eric the Little Bee. I forget what she calls him. Anyway, he's cute. So we are seeing a lot of activity and chatter there, which is exciting. This is one of my favorite alongs. I like all our alongs, but this is fun. And I'm not going to go through the rules because they're basically the same and you know what they are.
Right.
The featured patterns, Franciscan Gypsy Designs, Toy Patterns, Crocheting Hoovian's Hufflepuff pattern, Eric the Little Bee is Sue on design, and anything with my yarn, okay? And if you marry those patterns with my yarn, as always, 3 chances at a prize, okay? Let's see here. Okay, I guess that's it. Do you have anything on the, anything you want to say before we go into rough drafts?
No, I can't think of anything. I'm going to contact Andy about advent calendar because there's nothing on his site right now. I went and I checked since we talked about it.
It might still be a little early.
It might still be. That's why I kind of want to talk to him about it before it happens.
I thought I saw something on Instagram, but I might have been mistaken. Remember I said I saw something about Christmas gifts?
I can't remember the... I'll just have to contact Andy. It's not like I don't know how to get a hold of him.
We're big Plum Deluxe people.
Because I remember I looked into one when David's Tea had done it, but I don't like David's Tea as much. They put sugar in there.
They put sugar in it. I want to put sugar, my own sugar in there.
And theirs just feels more... Andy's is more natural.
It's more organic.
More organic.
If you will. And I don't mean necessarily that it probably is organic, but I don't mean, you know, that it hasn't been overly processed, is what I'm trying to say.
Right. It feels like real tea. Instead of like...
Fake tea?
Fake tea. Or, yeah, overly processed. Better quality tea.
Not to say David's is bad. I know a lot of people like David's, and it's good.
David's
is
bad.
It's not a bad tea. It's
I don't like it.
Well, that's fine, but it's not a bad tea. There are plenty of people who do like it, and you're not supposed to disrespect those people by saying it's bad tea.
It's bad tea?
Have a little bit of diplomatic skills.
They can like David's tea. Plum Deluxe is better, though. Objectively.
You're
objectively.
I happen to agree with you, but subjective.
Objective.
Subjective.
Objective.
Come on, you go first.
Okay. Let me just drink my delicious Plum Deluxe tea first. I think this episode might be called Plum Deluxe tea. Okay. I'm really tired.
You have no sympathy from me.
Hey, I got 7 hours of sleep.
Then you shouldn't be tired.
Medical condition.
I don't care. You should have gone to bed earlier like you were supposed to. No sympathy from me today.
That's right. Shouldn't live at all.
Staying up that late's not living at all. Go on.
Anywho.
See, Rena, she doesn't listen to your motherly advice.
I think you need a flick. Flick.
You flick me, I'm going to flick you back.
You flick harder than I do.
I will.
It's really not nice.
I don't care.
This is...
It's grown a little bit.
It has. It's hard for me to get time in to knit larger projects.
You've been doing this in the morning while we do rosary sometimes, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I get it in while I can. Because I don't have a whole lot of knitting time at one time anymore. So this is a Spanish lady project.
I thought you were going to call it Spanish dancer.
I called it Spanish lady.
I said Spanish dancer, not Spanish lady.
Don't expect me to remember stuff.
I just said that 5 seconds ago.
I know what you said 5 seconds ago.
Then why did you repeat?
Because I did call it Spanish lady.
I know what you called it. I heard you the first time.
I need tea to get through this conversation.
She's such an oboe head. Oboe head.
No, you're ruining the restfulness of the tea.
Oboe head. What are you
Must be
doing
one
with the tea? You're gonna spill that on your.
I don't have enough in it to spill all my stuff. Oh, need more tea.
This is good. Tea's almost gone.
I know, it's rather depressing. I need another one.
Come on, move it.
So, Spanish Lady, it's the On the Forest Floor project by On the Forest Floor pattern by Simone Carrete. And I'm using Miss Babs Yowza. The red is Vlad's. The black is Obsidian. And the gray is Pewter.
There you go. There we go.
So
pretty.
I don't think I actually said what mug mine was in it. It's obvious though. It's my Justice League and Robin mug.
And I did say what mine was. I think
I was
Avengers and Spider-Man.
Yes. But Spider-Man is an Avenger.
I know. I don't think of him as a Spider-Man Avenger though.
You don't think of him as a Spider-Man Avenger?
No. Because I keep seeing him as such a young kid, with Tom Holland.
Well, even though he's young in the comics, I guess he's not quite as young as he is in comparison to some of the others.
He's a reporter.
Yeah.
Or photographer, not a reporter.
Photographer, yeah. I mean, he's...
kind of like a Jimmy Olsen or something.
Yeah. But... yeah, he's a little bit older in the comics, I think. Depending on what time period you catch him in. Because, I mean, he's even married MJ at one point. But in my Silver Shed USA Kitties the News bag.
In my Holiday Owls bag, this is my Kickaboo Holiday Owls bag, is Sherbet, Sherbet Baby Hat. And this is a round loom. And I'm not sure how I feel about this loom. It has, and Beth and some of you other people who use a lot of looms, this has kind of almost like a crochet hook kind of feel on the end, and it makes it difficult for me to pull the stitches up. Do I need to make the stitches looser on this for that, or
would that make it just like a very loose fabric though?
I would think so. So Beth, you're the one I know watches this, who does these looms consistently. I think Monica is also a loom knitter. These are a Boyd loom, and I think it's a Boyd loom.
Let me see if I can get this closer to the camera.
And it's got a hook. It's got like a hook, like a crochet hook on the end there.
You can.
And I'm considering
that angle. You can kind of see it.
I'm considering taking back my unopened package and returning it.
Yeah, you see right there on this side, you can kind of see where there's a hook.
But I really like the way it feels in my hand, and I like the spacing. You can use worsted and DK on that single strand. So if you have any tips for me to make it easier, because it has the little groove where you can pull the loom tool up and guide it, just fine, but it keeps getting caught on this little hook, and I think maybe it's for beginners so it doesn't fall off. So if you have any suggestions, put it in a comment box for me or PM me, please, so I really don't want to get rid of this. I like the way it feels in my hand. So yeah, anyway, the hat I'm using, I love this yarn print, and its color is sherbet stripe. So I haven't gotten too much done because I got frustrated. It was hurting my hands because I've had to pull so hard to get it over the pegs. So I guess I should tag Beth. And I think Monica is Mo's, I can't remember what her...
I actually don't know it.
It's the one that has, it looks like Moses almost.
I'm done with my tea.
She's the one whose mom was, I asked her if she was Maureen, and she said, I think it was Maureen. She said her mom was named Maureen or something like that.
My tea's all gone.
You're supposed to be doing your project, not sitting there doing your water right now.
There we go. There we go. Oh, I don't think it charted. There it did.
All right, mean thing. Do what you're supposed to be doing.
Okay. Well, I wasn't sure when I started if you were done talking about your project. Okay. In my... I'm sorry, allergies are really bothering me today.
It's a bad day for that today. Even though it's wet.
In my Silver Shed USA Fun in the Woman Cave bag.
Bad? Bad?
Is my Nightwing Bunny. It's the Oops a Bunny pattern.
Do you get a fair amount done on that?
Fair amount. Let's see.
You said you wanted to finish that because you wanted to put it in the office.
Yes. I have several toys. All the toys that I had in a crate are in my office now. So it's like 3 bunnies and a chameleon, and I have a chameleon. The chameleon sitting on a fake plant.
One of your patients really like that.
Yes. He was nervous about his injection, and he spied the chameleon on the plant, and he really liked the bright colors. And at first, he joked about taking it home with him, and then when he realized I was going to let him take it home with him, he didn't want to take my chameleon away from the office, so he asked if I would make one for him, and we'll see. Eventually, I might make one for him. I told him, don't expect anything anytime soon.
Right.
I mean, the whole entire, like, I'll pay you, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to make one of my patients pay for a chameleon.
You gotta be careful, though, that it doesn't get around that people think you're just going to make them stuff.
Yeah.
Because they don't mean to, but then all of a sudden you find that you're doing that and only that.
Yeah.
Which is fine if that's what you want to do, but you want to be able to do some,
Yeah.
You know.
So I can't juggle all the pieces, but basically I have 1 ear done. I thought I had 2 ears done. It's like 2 ears done. The body done, the head done, the little front legs done, and I'm working on the first back leg. I need another back leg, the muzzle, and the tail, and then it's just piecing. So I'm really close. And then I hope to start working on Mom's pony a little bit more. But this bunny is so close to being done, I kind of been focusing on it.
Okay, in my Knitting's My Bag, Autism Awareness Bag, sweater size, is my Sea Spray shawl from the Tidal Wave Shawl Pattern by Tamara Kelly. You guys haven't seen this in a while, but...
oh, I forgot to tell them. That's Undead Yarn. I think the colorway's Cookie Monster.
Yeah.
And the eyes are Atlantis.
So this is how far I've got. I'm almost to the halfway part with this because it's getting ready to change colors. I'm not going to change colors.
That's so pretty.
So I just love this. I want this to be done. I want it to be done so I can wear it because I love it. And I've got this much done. I mean, this much left on the first ball, and then this is, I don't know how much yarn is in here. I'm hoping I have at least 400 yards in here. 430 yards. So I have this much left here, and I have another 430 yards. So it's going to be a fairly good size shawl. I don't know if I'll get through the whole pattern. I hope I do. But it's going to block fairly well as well, because this is Gourmet Stash. And it's 75-25, so I think it'll block pretty well. I just absolutely love this. And I was so happy that I was able to get this before she stopped dyeing yarn and fiber and stuff. And like I said, that was the only time I had ever seen her dye fiber. I mean yarn.
Yeah, because
she usually dyed fiber. Oh, this doesn't go in here. So I hope she's doing all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Oops.
Bunny.
Your turn.
Hang on, I need to take a drink because I said it's bunny.
Okay. Yeah, I have to do that too.
So, in my, oh, she doesn't have a tag on hers. Let me see if I
forget the name of her shop.
Me too.
Because she's new to us. She was really sweet.
Yes, she was. We got this I got this at the Fiber Festival. And I don't have the card in my bag, but this is my R2 and BB8 bag, but it's really my R2 bag. And
BB8.
This is the BB8's an R2 wannabe.
You can't help it. They made him that way.
But I apologize. This is the red beret. Initially, I had started with the idea of making this cancer hat, but the person I'm making for also, or thought I was making it for, also has lupus, and I didn't think red would make me. So I'm keeping this for myself. I started a different hat for her.
That's the same color almost as my hat that you made me that I wore the other day.
This is
not raspberry beret.
The colorway's rodeo. It's dragonfly fibers in the traveler base. So it'll be for me. I wanted a red hat anyway.
Don't you have one?
I have one, but it's a darker red.
Right. Oh, that's right. Yeah. The woolly worm head.
The woolly worm head's a really dark red. It's almost a black red. And then the other one that I have is like more of like a red and orange combination. So I don't have a pure red.
That's almost not a pure red either. It reminds me of black cherry or something.
Yeah, but it's not quite as dark as the woolly worm head one. The woolly worm head is almost black.
Well, that has black in it.
Yeah. And the woolly worm head, actually the colorway was black cherry, I think. I think it was a Kim Dyes yarn, actually.
I don't know. Might have been.
I think it was a Kim Dyes yarn.
Might have been.
But this pattern, I always have to look at the pattern to see what it is.
It was so sad when we saw her in the at Shenandoah and she didn't have any bulky weight yarn.
I meant that woolly worm had a bulky weight too, I think. Okay, so it's Cold Harbor Twist. The hat's a Cold Harbor Twist.
Okay then.
I was thinking to myself, I never remember this. Cold Harbor Twist. Let me make sure.
Well, it's not the right color for a Cold Harbor Twist.
Yep. The pattern is Cold Harbor Twist by Woolly Wormhead.
Well, I knew that part.
Yeah, my other red hat is Woolly Wormhead as well. But, and the colorway is Rodeo, Dragonfly Fibers, Traveler Base.
Kay was doing a hat. I don't know how far you've gotten on their podcast, her news podcast. She did a hat she's going to do for free for Patreons. I think she might even do it for free for, I'm not sure for everybody, so don't quote me, but free at least for Patreons.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love this pattern. I can't wait to, because I love, Davina's was a patterned one. I'm really looking forward to see how this looks when it's done.
It's very classy.
I think it's going to be very classy when it's done in a plain hat, in a plain yarn, because hers looks nice, but it's all variegated.
Right. Well, she likes that.
And she likes that. And it's still a cool looking hat, but I think this is going to look really classy when it's done. But yeah, I thought about it after I started it that it probably wasn't the best color for the person I was intending it for.
Right.
But that was the yarn I happened to have on me that day.
Okay.
Oops, forgot to put my Millennium Falcon back in there.
Okay, let's see what I got here. I have a whole bunch of stuff in there. I've got like a zillion projects going. Okay, in my Caterpillar Silver Shed USA Caterpillar bag is my Tangerine Dreams baby hat.
It's your bookworm bag.
Yes, it is.
Although that is the Hungry Caterpillar from...
Yes, it is. The Hungry Caterpillar. So I didn't do a whole lot on this. I thought about finishing it, and I just didn't. Something's wrong with the stitches here, but I didn't miss any. It's just...
I don't know enough about loom knitting to know.
It's just really loose.
Although you said that you do like the way you do it makes it almost like a twisted stitch. Because I remember you saying that you were talking to somebody about your loom knitting. Apparently, you do it weird.
I don't remember. Look, I don't know if I missed a stitch or what. Well, we'll see. Anyway, so there's the baby hat. And this one really is like a mitt. I might have to just do that one of these days. Just figure out how to bind off and make a mitt. 'Cause look at that, it's perfect.
My nurse practitioner, she just had a grandma daughter born on Monday, and the hospital that they had the baby at, Winchester, let them pick out a baby hat that was handmade, and
nice.
her daughter picked out this cute little pumpkin
Oh,
baby hat with a little stem on
it,
top.
yeah. How cute.
Mm-hmm.
So this one is just, and the thing is, I could probably very easily put a little stem on this because I was watching you make an I-cord. It's not that hard. I have to figure out, exactly what it was you were doing, watch a tutorial.
Well, just look up YouTube I-cord.
I-cord.
Although I think Kay probably does a tutorial on it.
She probably does. Did you hear that they're doing their own website and everything's going to be able to, I don't know if it's open.
I'm way behind, so
Apparently they're doing...
I started watching one last night.
Apparently they're doing a dedicated Bakery Bears website, and I guess I don't know if I heard correctly. I was half listening because I was doing something, but something about the patrons will be able to get to all the tutorials and all that really
that'll
easily.
Be nice.
And I don't know if some of the other stuff will be open to everybody.
Well, that's been on Dan and Kay's plan for the entire time to have a website.
It's going live December 1st.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Okay, so this is orange colorway in the very long way around saying this is the orange colorway for my little Tangerine Dreams baby hat. And I hope to have this finished next week, maybe.
Well, now that I'm all caught up on Daredevil, my plan has been, to catch up on Bakery Bears, and because I don't mind rewatching some of their stuff either once I'm caught up.
I don't either.
And they're just a nice, relaxing...
They're very soothing.
Yes, but not so soothing that I necessarily fall asleep.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the right soothing. Okay. My next project is in my Victorian Studios.
So that's Maureen.
Yes, I bet she thought I forgot about this.
Speaking of Maureen, I forgot to mention the Toy Along. She's our co-host for the Toy Along.
Wow,
and
you're really awful.
I'm tired. She's our wonderful co-host. She's been doing this with us for, I think she said 4 years. 3 or 4 years she's been doing this with us. So she's a lot of fun. So you
see, I have more sympathy about you're tired.
She always, I didn't stay up on purpose. She always does these really original things with toys. Sometimes, I mean, hers are almost like sculptures.
Yes, they are.
They really are. She's truly an artist in the full sense of the word.
But this is one of her bags. I love. It feels almost quilted.
Mm-hmm. And this fabric's her own.
Yeah, and it has the birds on the outside, and on the inside it has all the names of a bunch of different birds, like nightingales and tree sparrows, and robins. What does that say? Is a stone chat a bird? Swallow.
Something chit, I think.
Oh, stone chit maybe.
Yeah. Nightingale. Yeah. She's all these different kinds of birds.
Yeah. Bullfinch. But in this awesome little project bag, and we'll see how long this project will stay in here, because I think it'll get too big for it eventually.
Mm-hmm. It matches.
Yes, it does match. That's part of why I chose this bag.
It matches this little bird right here.
So whichever one, this one, it matches. And look.
Yeah. It's my color. My color bag, my color project, give it to me.
No.
Give it to me.
This was yarn that I had in my stash. This is Cascade 220 in the colorway Puget Sound. I can't remember what the number was, but I had actually went and looked up the number and figured out the name of it based on that. And I had picked up a sweater worth of this like an eon ago. And I'm calling the project the Lounging Sweater, and the pattern is by Pearl Soho. Mm-hmm. And it is called, this one I have not memorized yet, the Ridgeline Wrap Cardigan.
That's a really pretty sweater.
It is. For those of you who don't remember what it looks like, because it's not going to look anything like this for a little while, because it's going to take me, it takes me an eon to get through a row.
Well, it's just long. It doesn't get any shorter.
Exactly. It's not the project.
And that's bottom up, isn't it?
It is bottom up.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And I had to go down a couple needle sizes because my yarn is bigger than the yarn she chose. They were both worsted weight, but from what I gathered from the pattern, hers was a light worsted.
So would have been better maybe with a Miss Babs or something.
Right, but this was the sweater's worth that I happen to have. So I just went down a couple needle sizes. That's not a problem. It just means that
it takes a little longer.
Well, not that it takes a little longer. It just means that I'm going to have a thicker fabric.
Okay.
Oopsie.
All right. In my Knitting's My Bag Gnomes bag. It's called Lazy Gnome. I don't know why it was called Lazy Gnome. I think they're pretty industrious. But is my Precious Heirloom Shawl. It's my own pattern. I do love my pattern, but I'm finding, and I love the yarn because it was given to me by Jenny, Lucky Jenny Knits.
What was the name of the colorway again?
Jewelry Box. And I want to finish this.
It makes me think, honestly, the Shire.
It does. The problem is that because this is such a small yarn, a small weight yarn, and I have to use such small needles, I'm using size 5s, I think. I'm using size 6, which isn't really overly small, but it's hurting my hands. So this one is getting only a little work done on a time. I was hoping maybe to give this to my mom because then I get to work with the yarn that Jenny gave me that I love so much, but it's my mom's colors. And by the time I finish a row of this, my hands are like, I'm not doing anything more. So we'll just see what happens with this. I do like working this pattern. My pattern, I should like it. But it's just not going anywhere fast. I think given my choice for this particular weight of yarn, I probably would have gone up a couple needles. So it's a slightly lighter fabric.
You should have let me make a hat for you out of it.
I might take it out and give it to you to do that. But I might, if you don't see this on the needles, that's what I did. But I kind of feel like I should probably do more than one of my pattern on this. Because I do love I like my pattern, I do. It's just that with this yarn, it's hurting my hands. So that's that.
Okay, so
my tea is all gone.
I know, I'm really depressed about mine being gone too, because I really want another cup, because that's a really yummy tea. I haven't had it in a long time. It's really delicious.
Next.
In my Ploverbird Turtles bag, this has been my I'm going to attempt to fax something 20 million times project. I don't get along well with fax machines, and our fax machine at work apparently is a little demented anyway. I think all fax machines are evil and demented, but there you go. So I take this with me and knit a few stitches to a couple rows while I'm waiting for the fax machine to make up its mind and work. Because you can't leave it because you have sensitive patient information and you want to make sure it went through, so you're waiting for your confirmation to go through. And then I also take this with me while I'm waiting for the microwave when I'm heating up my food. So I get a little bit done making use of dead time where I can't do anything else. Yeah. You know, I can't take my computer with me to do patient work. I can't take my phone with me to do patient work because for pretty, I want to say obvious reasons, but nothing's obvious. But I'm just going to say obvious. For obvious reasons, they don't want you using your cell phone because they don't want, because so many people have caller ID now, they don't want patients who might have boundary issues to be able to track to your personal cell phone. So we can only use the work phones. And since I don't have a work cell phone, I can only really make calls in my office. And I don't have the fax machine in my office. It's in another location. So that's a very long way to say I can make use of dead time with this. And this is my Bonnie Blue Lady Cancer hat, and it's a Diana's hat pattern. It's pretty. It's really nice. By Joanna Johnson. It's got bamboo and cotton. It is a Flock Brizonas hat, and the colorway I believe is Serenity.
Yes, it is.
like I said, it's bamboo and cotton, and it's just really beautiful. I think I might have gotten our nurse practitioner looking at some yarn sites.
Oh, good.
I pointed her in the direction of knit picks. I pointed her in the direction of webs, because she's mostly Michaels and all that, and she's like, you know, she's looking for some of these pretty yarns that she's been seeing me use, so I pointed her in the direction of some sites. I'm like, yeah, just a warning, these are very bad sites.
Etsy.
Yeah, I hadn't even mentioned Etsy. I mentioned Miss Babs. I mentioned...
Miss Babs, oh yeah. Bad place.
Yes, I mentioned all these bad places. So,
I dropped more money at Miss Babs.
But, yeah, because my nurse practitioner is a knitter. And I joke that I had to be careful not to go near her office unless I have the plan in my head that I'm going to be sitting and talking for a little bit, either about my patients or about knitting or something. She's a very nice, very talkative lady.
Personable lady.
Very personable lady. Oh, she's very sweet. I think she's recently discovered knitting podcasts too. So Michelle, if you found this, hey.
Hi, Michelle. Don't know who you are, but hi, Michelle.
But
we need to get Sammy on here so we can say hi to her.
I don't know if Sammy... No, I don't think Sammy knits.
I can't reconcile her rollerblading self with knitting.
I'm quite sure there are plenty of knitters out there.
I'm sure there are, but I just can't.
I don't think she does, but...
So pointy sticks are pretty dangerous.
But... This is so pretty. And I think that I have maybe one more set of these ridges, these garter ridges. So I have like another set of the stockinette piece that I'm doing now, and then another set of the garter stitch ridges, and then I think it's the main part of the hat. But basically I knitted this during my snatches of time at work, and that's what I save it for. Because it's an easier project. I don't necessarily... Even though my stethoscope cozy is in my purse, it's not the ideal project for that, because you feel like you have to finish a needle. Whereas you could do just 2 stitches, drop this, and go. A hat is really, and particularly Diana's hat in my head, is a ideal do a few stitches and go type project. Right. Although I do need...
You know what else is my shawl.
It is, but it's a little bit heavier on the knit.
It is heavier.
I don't necessarily...
Well, you got it on Miss Babs.
Yes, but, you know, a project that tends to be heavier, I don't necessarily want to...
That's more when we go to the movies.
Yes, and that's what I generally use that for.
Movies are coming out.
Yeah, when I'm standing there at the fax machine, because...
It's too much weight.
It's too much weight. You want something that's really easy and light.
Small.
Yes.
Hat would be good.
Yes.
Okay, in my... Oops.
Whereas sometimes at the movies, you actually prefer something that's sitting on your lap.
As long as you're not eating popcorn or something. I
right.
Lost my place.
And also what's good about your shawl is there's no marking off with your rows.
Right, you just go.
You just go. So that's...
It's very easy repeat to remember.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. I already did that one. Okay. In my Silver Shed USA Lady Furnicle fabric bag. Okay. Love this bag. Absolutely love it. Is my Miss Peppermint Kitty Cat. And this is Talia's Brat the kitten. So, her head is done. Okay. And the muzzle, I believe. Let me see, did I finish the muzzle? Yes, I finished the muzzle.
Oh no, she's going to be able to talk.
So I got this. And I've started the body.
It really is perfect for that project, the yarn.
The yarn is old time yarn. It's Polworth DK in the colorway. I think this cat has 9 lives.
I think it is. That sounds right.
I can't find my ball band.
I think it is. This cat has 9 lives. You know, you do actually have a. Oh. You didn't put it down. Okay.
It is. This cat's got 9 lives. Cat is spelled K-A-T. And this is what I have right now. So I'm hoping I can get through the body and the legs and everything with this. If not, I might have to be a little creative with like maybe the feet and things like that, because we couldn't figure out exactly how much yarn was necessary for Brat.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway, so this is Miss Peppermint Kitty Cat. That's one of Taya's. And that yarn was a mystery yarn that I bought from Old Time Yarn. I was very happy with it.
Mm-hmm. Now, my last project, actually, I wasn't planning on working this, but Friday, for some reason, was very frustrating for everyone at work. The few contacts that anyone in the office had with patients that actually came in were just, they weren't particularly nice. And it was just like everyone, whenever you make like 2 steps forward on something, whether it's calling insurance companies or whatever, it seemed like you had to take 10 steps back to get anything done. And like you'd make like 20 million phone calls and just be the same place where you were when you started, if not farther back. So it was just one of those days where like everyone had a frustrating day. And when I got home, the only thing I wanted to do was just like not be around people for a little while. And just wind down. So I hid in my room, turned on Bakery Bears until about 8:30, and knit on this. And this is my miter square blanket.
Okay.
It hasn't gotten a lot of work in a while. I've only worked on this one square, but this because of the size square I chose, it does take a little longer to knit.
I took when I started on this size square, I ended up ripping it all out.
Mm-hmm. In the future, I'm going to go with my original size that I'm using for my bigger blankets.
Something like this.
Yeah.
Because I thought this would be better for me to do this, and I just found that it was taking too long.
Yes, it's more fun to do the smaller squares. This is fun enough, but it's more fun to do the smaller ones.
Well, the thing for me, I think, is that I don't finish it quick enough. And my idea with something like that, and I have to go back to it, maybe this winter I will, I wanted something that I could finish a square at least in the week. So I had something that I felt like I was finishing. Because I'm finding it so difficult to get anything done that something like this would be ideal.
Now, I'm not looking forward to weaving it on my ends.
Yeah, I think I'll do that as I go.
And I thought I would too, but what happens is a lot of times I knit on this when I need some sort of comfort or I'm really wiped out or something, and I don't want to weave in ends. I just want to play with the color. Because this is usually my comfort project. You did not dye that.
But that's very close to my
I'm pretty sure you didn't dye that.
to my It's Okay to Be Different.
I don't think you dyed that.
I'm not saying I did. I'm just saying it's very close to it.
I can't remember who dyed that. I knit a hat for Davina out of that.
If it's not me, it's either
Wild Hair
or Marigold Jen. It's probably Wild Hair.
I think that's Wild Hair.
Yeah.
Because that looks like one of... Wild Hair really does... She does a lot of brilliant neons. And I tend to pick up her neons and make something for Davina out of it. But, yeah, this was my watching Bakery Bears and winding down from wanting to shoot insurance companies in the head. Because they have a collective head.
Okay. Let's see, what's my next one here? In my... This is my bag, Sarah bag. I call it my Monet bag because I used to think it was. It's Elementary, My Dear Watson project. This is the Elementary Wrap pattern by Pearl Soho. I'm using Miss Babs in the slate colorway. So yowza. And I don't do a whole lot on this at a time simply because 1 or 2 rows is about all I can get accomplished normally. So it's not grown a whole lot, but it's there. And this is kind of, if I could sit down and just focus on it, I could get a lot done. I have the potential to get, you know, maybe 5 or 6 rows. Yes, 5 or 6 rows done at a sitting if I just, my hands would cooperate a little more. And yes, I am going to get my hands checked again once I get my car back. My husband's truck is still in the shop. It's been in the shop for about 10 days. So I haven't had a car or vehicle, so everything gets kind of pushed aside. we've had to cancel all kinds of appointments and things. So that will get accomplished when it gets accomplished. But in the meantime, I do as I can, and I'm enjoying it.
I guess the next thing is you're dying.
I have an FO.
Oh, I did not realize that. Then I feel absolutely no guilt about making you go first with your tea. You have far more interesting things than I have going on.
Here's my second. See, here's one. This is the one I finished this past time, and this is the other one. So, you know, I do have 2 of them. I have to take pictures of both of them, and then I have to add them to the bakery bears.
They're like mitts.
Baby hats. Okay, so I had to take pictures of both of these.
I need to take a picture of Davina's hat and add that and the lace stethoscope cozy I made to the Bakery Bears FO.
Yeah, I have a couple of things I have to add. These 2 hats.
It's not even because I anticipate or even really want to win anything. For some reason, it's kind of addictive to keep track of my projects on there and see how many feet I can get.
I just like to see what I'm doing. I have no hope of winning.
They have way too many members.
They have too many members, and I'm just not that
But
lucky.
honestly, it's not even about winning for me. It's about... I just want to see how many feet I can get.
Yeah. The only way I really would want to win something is if I could get some McKay's yarn, but in a DK base. Mm-hmm. Because a DK or something. Because I love her yarn and stuff like that. But
I did win something from her once.
Yeah.
I won...
I remember that.
That
a bag.
The bag.
Yeah.
I can't remember what I won it for. I think it was a toy along.
It might have been. I've never.
Because I just put one of my toys in just to be like, hey, this is really cool that they're doing this. You know, support Dan and Kay at the toy along, and I won that awesome wiener bag that I carry in my purse all the time.
Yeah, I wish I've never won anything from them, but and she's not making bags anymore, which is what I really wanted to do from her.
She makes a quality bag.
I really wanted one of her bags.
But I can understand why she stopped.
Oh, me too. Her shoulders, you got to take care of your shoulders. But she has some really pretty fabrics that seem to be kind of
unique.
Well, not unique, but what's the word I'm looking for? I hate it when I can't figure out a word. I can't think of it. You know, it was to a certain area. I can't think of the word. I can't think of it. Anyway.
Regional?
That works, but that's not what I'm trying to say. It's kind of just, that's what you think of as a certain area. I can't think of the word. It's really driving me crazy. But anyway, I really wanted to get one of those that was very reminiscent, if you will, of that area. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's my FO.
Actually...
Oh, are we doing the dyeing first or the FOs? I mean the stash and hand.
Dyeing's usually first. Hold on one second. Before you do that, I have a FO. Finished a square just a second ago. Let me go ahead and put the needle through.
That's a PhD.
It's not even a PhD.
It's just a PD. No. PPD. Project partially done.
Okay, so...
You just showed that blanket.
Square done! Yay!
Okay. We're going...
No, not actually finished object. FYI.
Okay. I did a fair amount of dyeing over the last... Yarn dyeing, as Davina says. Over the last 2 weeks. I didn't have the yarn to show you last week because it was all drying or soaking or whatever. So, I'll show it to you this week.
My tail's been...
This one...
There we go.
I must be really into these teal colorway. This one I may or may not be able to redo. I tried
What weight is it?
This is a fingering. This is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 460 yards fingering sock. And it is an oops, possibly an untamed oops. Okay? Why is there a red dot up there?
It just says that it's recording, Mom. Red dot is good.
Okay. So this is a
You want red dot up
This
there.
is a beautiful color, and I absolutely love it.
The red dot's always up there.
Okay. It's a little darker than the last ones I've had up there, and I may or may not be able to redo this. I have some notes on it, but I just kind of took some of the blues and greens that I had left over and put them together. So this will be going in the shop as soon as I have time to take pictures and put a ball band on. I don't have a name for it, so I'll leave that open to you guys. So keep your eyes on this one, because I have several that don't have names yet. Okay, so this is Fingering Sock.
Okay, what movie is it? I'm suddenly hearing a song in my head. It says like something about keep your eyes upon me, then a surprise you will be.
Oh, yeah.
What is that?
Da, da,
da,
yeah,
da, 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 da.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
What? Is that Shirley Temple?
No, I don't think so. No,
It's gonna bother me.
Yeah, but not right now. Okay, the other one I did at the same time with that. This doesn't have a name either. Okay, and it's not showing the color really well.
No, it really isn't doing it justice at all. You might need to unfurl it, Mom,
Yeah.
because it's a way too pretty colorway to hide that way.
This is worsted. I have 2 of them. 100% superwash merino, 218 yards.
I'm trying to check. I can't remember how many stitches I had to have for this square, so I'd look
Blues
it up.
and greens. That's a little better. Can you see the blues and the greens in this? I mean, it's just.
I mean, they can, but they
it's
can't.
not showing up.
It's not showing up to its true beauty.
It's really, really beautiful. And this is another one I don't have a name for, and I have 2 of these. So
I know it's from Yankee Doodle Dandy.
yes, it is from Yankee Doodle Dandy. So you can see kind of what it is. It's not quite showing up exact, but I have 2 of these in a worsted weight. And if you have any ideas for names, I'm open to suggestions. If I don't find one before I get suggestions, I may take one of the suggestions for them.
Right.
So I have 2 worsted. Put this in here so I don't forget that this is a worsted weight. I have a variety of weights this time. So 2 of these. Okay. This one I do have a name for. Davina was ecstatic when I named this one. This is
It actually isn't quite as blue. I mean, it is blue, it has some blue too, but it's not quite as blue as I thought it would be.
it's grays.
Yeah.
This is 75% superwash merino wool, 25% nylon, 462 yards of fingering sock weight.
Mm-hmm.
This is only shades of gray, and I might be doing this one in a sparkle base later on,
If you do it in a sparkle base, I'm interested because I know Davina's going to want that in a hat.
but that will be a fingering weight because that's all I can get my sparkle in.
Okay, that's fine.
I think that's all I can get.
I've knitted fingering weight hats for her before.
So this is only shades of gray. Can you see that?
But you know that she would be ecstatic if
Yeah,
I
she
knit
would.
that for her in a sparkle base.
I told her, I said, you know, it looks like a fog bank. She said, no, Mom, it's only shades of gray, because it's the only closest thing she said I'll give her to a Monkees reference. So, Only Shades of Gray was a song that Mike Nesmith did in the
No, it was Peter Tork.
Uh-uh.
Yes, it was.
Uh-uh.
You know, look it up. I am pretty sure it's Peter Tork. Only shades of gray.
Because I think Mike even sings it.
No, Peter does.
I don't think so.
Gray song.
I'd be very surprised.
Okay.
'Cause I didn't think Peter ever wrote anything.
I don't think he wrote it. I think he sang it. It was written by Barry Mann and Cynthia Well.
Was it?
Wheel. Vocals were shared by Davy Jones and Peter Tork.
Wow. Well, it wasn't just Peter Tork.
No, but Davy does like the background.
Right.
And Peter does the main part. The only reason why I remember is because Davina was really into Peter at that point.
Oh, she's still into Peter. Anyway, this is Only Shades of Gray, and it is a fingering sock, and it will be, it's one of the few that I have a name for. Okay. This one, I have no idea what to call it. This is also a sock fingering, same base, and I love this. It turned out really pretty. Can you see that? Oh, that one's turning out, showing up pretty
Oh,
well.
that's so pretty.
Any suggestions for names for this kind of dark gray and teal?
If the gray wasn't so gray, you'd almost say Nightwing.
Yeah, well, I have black. This has, this is kind of reminiscent of the Nightwing, but it really isn't.
Mm-hmm.
I almost called it Monster in the Closet. But, if you have any ideas, this is
Fog
so
Upon the
pretty.
Water.
Fog Upon the Water. It does have shades of teal in it and shades of gray. So,
Or Fog Upon the Harbor.
Harbor Fog.
Harbor Fog.
Yeah. I'll write that down in case we don't have anything coming up that's better. Usually fog's not quite this dark.
It depends. It depends if it's more of a smog.
I don't want to do smog. What color eyes does smog have?
Smog, the dragon?
Yeah.
I'm sure that it's like a greenish, yellowish color.
Probably. Anyway, so any ideas, any suggestions would be helpful. These were all from last week. The ones from this past week, I haven't had a chance to reskein, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. Let me just put these in the bag here. And you might hear some noise. And thank you everybody who said they don't mind the extraneous noise that we have sometimes. Okay. The first one I want to show you, I have two of this one. I have two of this. This is called Makes Me Happy.
It's very happy.
Davina caught the reference right away. This is a DK weight. It's a DK weight. It is 246 yards, 100 grams, 100% superwash merino. Makes me happy. This is, as you can see, it's still got my dyeing ties on it. I have not yet reskeined it. It's got some bright pinks, kind of a neon green, the teal, and then it's got some pops of this purple. Can you see this kind of purple? And kind of a more subdued green. Okay? So this is Makes Me Happy. And this will probably be making a reappearance around Autism Awareness. But right now, it is available. I may be making some. I wanted to do something happy, and this really does make me happy. So I have two of these. DK weight Makes Me Happy, and I will probably show you this next week when it's been reskeined, so you get an idea of what it looks like reskeined. I can't list this one until I reskein it anyway. So that's those two. And this next one, the last one I have to show you, is a sport weight. And in keeping with being a little bit more brightly colored, the sport weight is 274 yards, I think. 274 yards, 75 superwash merino wool, and 25% nylon. This is Elusive Unicorn. So it's got the bright kind of teal, the bright pink, and then that purple.
Very pretty.
And this was going to be something else, but I love the way this turned out as part of the Makes Me Happy. So I will be dyeing this one up. Both of these, if you like these, you know, anything that I've done that's not an oops, I can redo if you like it in a different weight. So,
like I said, this might need to be a sparkle base at some point.
This one too. Yeah. This is. I had intended on making this one a sparkle base because it's Elusive Unicorn. You know, so that's what I've been up to. I will probably be busy with the dye pots, and you'll hear about why in a second. Just let me put this away. It's just a tad damp still, but not really much to worry about. I'll open it up again and let it dry before I reskein it.
I like the smell of the yarn.
I can't smell it right now.
I smell something.
Well, you smell it. It's probably the cleaner I use.
That's probably
because I've many people have told me that it doesn't smell like citric acid when they get my stuff, which is good. So that's what I've been doing with my dye pots. I will be doing an update relatively soon, a little at a time. Do you have stash enhancements?
Only if you count this as stash enhancements. I don't know if I should cover that. I'll just cover it. I got my official placard for my car.
Yay.
So, yay?
No, yay. That's good.
So, yes, it is.
And they say not to drive with that. You should put it.
Everyone does it.
No, it gets in the way of your sensors.
Yes.
And stuff.
Yeah, so I have to make sure I remember to pull it down.
Yeah.
Because I don't like to take it down immediately when I get in the car because I'm afraid someone might yell at me for being in a handicapped space.
That's what your card is for.
That's true.
And you have it on the dashboard. I mean,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I actually forgot to take my orange one off when I drove home yesterday.
Oh. Don't forget, because it gets in the way of your sensors.
Yeah. But, so I have an official one now. Okay. And it comes with, for those who haven't had one before, it comes with something you put in your wallet to prove that you are the person who.
Well, that's an option, right? I mean.
No, it comes with.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Yeah, that's not an option.
Okay.
And then what you were looking at as the option is they have something if like you lose it or need to replace it.
Oh, okay.
If you just lost either this or the plaque
card, yeah.
or the card, you can replace one or the other. Or
I have
both.
to give the number back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, I have a couple things I want to do here. One of my stash enhancements is from my Bear Yarn supplier. I got tagged by Cappy to take part in and Cappy is from the Yarn Night podcast. I got tagged to do an indie advent calendar swap, indie yarn dyer swap. So I'm really excited about that. I bought some Bear Sparkle minis, and this is a 10-gram mini. So what we do is each person, she's trying to get 25 people. She's got 12 last time I looked, which is okay. I can do 2 colors if I have to do 2 colors. And we're supposed to do, ideally we have 25 counting her, and we each do 1 color, wrap it up a little bit, and then we send it all to Cappy with a little bit of money for the packaging that she sends it all out. And so we each get an advent calendar of yarn, of minis, 10-gram minis.
But it really only works if you have dyers involved.
Yeah, it has to have dyers.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting to hear. I'm going to start my dyeing with this either this weekend. I have to prepare it, so I have to, tie off the little things and everything. I got extra, so I might have some sparkle minis in the shop. They aren't the 20 grams, they are the 10 grams. But after I finish the shop, I may have like little sets for that. So that's in here. My other stash enhancements, I got this to learn mini loom knit, and this is like from.
And that doesn't look like it has a hook on it.
It doesn't. This is not a Boyd. This is Leisure Arts, and it looks like it's still worsted weight, probably. And I'm not afraid of using double anyway. But this will be nice to make the wristlets and things. Very simple wristlets and things. I do know how to purl. I just have to focus a little bit more. So it has an instruction booklet in here, and I'm looking forward to making something other than hats.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good step for you.
Yeah, so it looks like you can make baby booties.
Baby booties be so fun.
Baby booties, and I don't know what you call this, kind of a headband type of thing.
I think it's kind of like a headband, yeah.
And then this scarf, I guess, you can make on this. And they say you can carry it in your pocket or your purse. I have a couple of really small bags. This would be perfect for them. You're thinking, the looms are so hard to fit sometimes.
Yeah.
This one and the smaller round ones are perfect. So I got this, and then we picked this up, my husband and I, so we can exercise. When you get to my age, old as dirt, older than dirt, you get to do things that can kind of sharpen your mind a little bit. So, the thing I like about this, it's more, it's got a lot of words. It's word relationships, antonyms, synonyms, what does this mean, things like that. So this should be fun. I don't like as much the things that are good for your mind, like crossword puzzles and things like that. For one thing, a lot of them I find to be really topic specific, and I'm not a big cultural person. I don't mean culture like art and music. I mean like Walking Dead and all that kind of stuff. So if you don't get the right crossword puzzles, you're kind of like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So I like these kind of things.
Scrabble's good too.
I love Scrabble. It's one of the few games I really enjoy playing. I'm not a board game person, but I love Scrabble. The other thing I picked up was this, and this is the thing I was talking to you about. I didn't realize I had a second one. And this, unless somebody can tell me how to work with this, with the hooks, I may have to bring this back. And if I can't find my receipt, I may have to put it up for a giveaway or for a, if anyone wants to purchase it. Because it's unopened. I haven't even opened this one. I just picked it up about a week and a half ago. So I hope that somebody can tell me how to use this, because I do like the way this feels in my hand. But otherwise, it's going to have to go, because I can't have things that aren't being used. The other thing I wanted to get I talked to Laura Concert about this, so she's okay with it. A long time ago when I first started dyeing yarn, Laura gifted me a whole bunch of this beautiful wool yarn. It's 100% wool from the Farmers Museum flock, commercially spun, 4-ounce skeins. I'm not sure how much 4 ounces is yardage wise, but I've got oops,
The bunny.
indeed. Okay, I've got 6 skeins of this yarn, okay? And it's not getting used, and I asked her if I could do this. I said, it's hurting my hands and stuff, and she said I could do a giveaway for this because I wasn't going to do it because it was a very wonderful gift, and I didn't want, you know, I didn't want to think I didn't appreciate it. I did, and I do. But she said I could go ahead and give it away. So I want to give this away as a prize. Not as a prize, as a giveaway. I'm just trying to figure out how to divide it. I think maybe like this.
Oh, that works.
This
yeah,
one,
that's
these
a good
three,
combination.
and then these 3, okay? This would felt really well, I think. It seems to be a worsted or an Aran weight. The gray is a little bit thinner. Maybe a worsted. And this one here seems to be a little heavier.
Well, the browns seem to be heavier. The gray and the pink seem to be lighter.
Yeah. So these 3 will go together. Okay. And these 3 will go together. All right. Just to, I don't think I could fit all in one package. So these will be 2 giveaways. I will put up a thread as soon as I can. And I thank Laura profusely for giving this to me and making this possible for you guys. But it's really a shame to just have it sitting on my shelf since I started dyeing about 2 years ago. So I'll go ahead and put this up for a giveaway. I hope somebody wants it because it's really nice. It's wool. It's pure wool. It's 100% wool from the Farmers Museum flock. So that's pretty cool. That sounds all very historic almost. Yeah. I have no idea, you know. This one is, I don't know where this one's from. This one's 280 yards. This one here. Okay. So that's these. Yeah, these 2 are 280 yards each. This one. These are all from the same. Maybe this one here. Yeah, all these are, the other ones are all from the.
It doesn't say the yardage on this one.
No, these from the museum don't say the yardage.
This isn't from the museum?
No. I don't know where that's from. So, okay. So these go. Alright. Okay. Moving on. I finished my Last Command, the Timothy Zahn book, and I started Wounded Shadow. I'm already on chapter 6.
and let them know the author's name. Cause they
Patrick Carr. Love Patrick Carr. If you like fantasy, I think you'll like Patrick Carr. I found him a little slow at the very beginning of the first novella, but his characters are fantastic and his stories are wonderful, and I really enjoy him. This is his 7th book that I'm reading. It's the last in the 2nd series. And I waited for a long time for it to come out, and it took me forever to finish the Star Wars series that I was on. So I pushed through that, not because I didn't like it, but because there were so many of them. And then I finally got to start Patrick Carr, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to slow down because it's going to be gone. I just love the way he writes. So I did that, and then I've got my religious readings and stuff like that. And I've done a fair amount of writing as well. Not as much as I did last week, but I got a fair amount done. So you have any of that kind of stuff?
Nope, nothing interesting.
Okay, the knitting ephemera. Where's mine? There it is. I have my glasses. Okay. Since we are going a little bit longer than I thought, I'm going to keep this one short. Yarn that is dyed in the wool. Yarn that is dyed in the wool is dyed before the wool or other fiber is actually spun into yarn. Also called stock dyed or fleece dyed, the constituent fibers are dyed, then blended and spun. Yarn may be dyed in the wool in order to achieve a heathered color effects. For example, a mill may dye some fiber pink and some fiber blue, then blend them together and spin them into a yarn that reads as a heathered purple. Or the process can be used to create stripes, as it is with Noro yarns, which are made of fibers dyed in the wool, then spun in sequence to create stripes that slowly blend from one color to the next. Okay, and just a little tidbit here. Great Britain has more than 60 native 60 native breeds of sheep. 60 in Britain. Wow, that's awesome. So that's your ephemera of today, knitting ephemera of the day. All right, are we planning on podcasting next Saturday?
Yep, that's the plan. I just need you guys to see this really pretty skein of... Isn't that pretty?
It is pretty.
I don't know
so
what it
the
is.
first week of November, I don't know what the exact date is. Today's the 27th. So 4 days would be the 31st. So I guess around the 3rd. Probably around the 3rd or 4th of November. I guess this one will be podcasting Saturday. We do want to thank everybody who commented on Ravelry or on YouTube. I answered everybody, although Vonnie, I didn't see your response until I was getting ready to podcast in Ravelry, so I haven't had a chance to answer that one. We want to thank the YouTube commenters especially because sometimes we don't get to them. Tabitha's Treasures, Renna, Pat, Wombat of Doom 53, Doom, Donna Henderson, Donna, yeah, and Brittany.
And Sue said it was a good thing that I...
Yeah, well, Sue and I will have a talk about that.
Sue said.
Renna said that you should listen to your mother.
And Sue said it was good that I...
Yes, and so you listened to the one that you felt like doing. See what you did, Sue? See what you did? I love Sue. Sue's our Mama Sue, and we love her dearly. Okay. All right, so we want to wish... Do you have anything else to say?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to cuddle my blanket.
We want to wish everyone a blessed week full of all that makes you happy, knitting, crocheting, crafting, whatever it is that you like to do. And we look forward to seeing you here again for the Fun in the Women Cave next week. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 329, and that's a wrap.
Bye.